Okay, so what I want to do in this video is walk you through the most recent bookings we have for one of our clients, so the 5 most recent bookings, and look at what helped contribute to them booking a consultation with this practice. So if we come ahead and click into the top one here, we can see this patient comes into the system at 11 o'clock in the morning. They go back and have a conversation, and what you can see here is the conversation stops via text, but there is an appointment booked. And there's a great explanation for that. We plug in extra systems into Boost in order to deliver that speed to lead every single time. So we don't wait for a lead to come in and for someone, a human, to say, oh, a new lead's come in, we better give that individual a call. We take that out of it. We have systems in place that will automatically make that phone call. And here you can see it took us 80 seconds from when the lead submitted a form to us giving them a phone call. Here's the recording, which led to this booking on September the 30th. Shows you the value of having someone or a system in place where all they do is call leads as soon as they can come in. Option lead 2 here, they come in during the morning. So this lead comes in 4 a.m. in the morning. So you can see they're going back and forth having a conversation. And again, showing you the value of having a system in place that does everything that you need it to in terms of speed to lead, texting, email, and phone calls. We're not going to call this patient at 4 o'clock in the morning, but we are going to text them. We're going to give them that outlet if they're ready to have that conversation, which is what we're doing here. So here you can see she's ready to have this conversation. They go back and forth having a conversation, and they now are ready to book. For some of our clients, we allow our system to send booking links so the leads can schedule themselves. For some, we don't. And that's one of the values, again, of having a system, of having a team in place who tracks this to see what's working versus what's not working for some practices, because not all practices are the same. So we allow this practice to allow that self-scheduling after a conversation, which is what happened here, and we've seen great results with this one. This third lead comes in. What we can see here is a new lead coming in the evening this time, so 9 o'clock in the evening, going back and forth having a texting conversation. And again, when someone submits a form, they're doing it on their phone or on their computer, they are very likely engaged and active. It is the most critical time for you to acknowledge their submission and ideally start a conversation if you can, which is what we're doing here. So this individual, though, wants to speak to an actual live person. So we said, no worries about that, we'll take care of you. The next morning we give them a phone call at 9:30. They don't pick up. So we just drop them a text message letting them know, hey, just want to let you know that we tried to call. A few hours later, they called back. So they got that text and they called that number back. That is one of the most important phone calls to pick up, is when your phone is ringing, you have to answer. That is someone calling you for a reason, especially if it's your new patient number. They are very likely calling to ask some questions, build a relationship, and want to book a consultation. So you have to answer the phone. What you do not want it to do is ring for hours or send them to voicemail where they have to leave a voicemail and wait for you guys to contact them. So again, a system, a human, whatever it is that you have to have someone or something in place to consistently answer that phone every single time it rings. Here is example 4. So this lead comes in, and this lead comes in at 5:30 in the morning. So again, we're seeing a pattern here just with this small subset of leads coming in outside of business hours. So they come in outside of business hours, and again, with these timestamps, what we're seeing here is a conversation happening because they're on their phone, they submitted that form, they are available to have a conversation now. So go back and forth, and they ask a couple of questions and we answer them. They ask for the booking link, which we send, and they go ahead and get that scheduled, all whilst the practice is closed. Just let that sink. All while the practice is closed, they're having a conversation with us and we're getting them on the schedule. And then the last example here is this lead comes in at 2 a.m. They don't reply for another hour and 50 minutes, but they still reply outside of business hours. We're going back and forth here having a conversation. Again, you can see the timestamps. When they reply, it is incredibly important that you reply to let them know you've got it, you're here, you're ready to have that conversation. Not just at the start when a lead comes in. Speed to lead is critically important then, but it's important throughout the whole journey. Whenever they're ready to have a conversation, you have to be ready to engage. That's what we're showing you here with these examples. So they go back and forth, have a fantastic conversation, and then they stop messaging. We've sent them the booking link, but they stop messaging. So when our team comes in the morning, we give them a phone call. We let them know that, hey, we tried to call you, but you weren't available. And then what they do, 2 hours, 40-ish minutes later, they call us back, and guess what? We pick up the phone. That is so critically important. Pick up the phone when someone is calling, because they are calling for a reason, especially if it's your new patient line. And here we go ahead and get them booked for October the 8th. So 5 fantastic examples which show you the value of speed to lead, not just at the start of a lead journey when they come in and submit a form, but throughout the journey. So when they start engaging with you, being quick to reply, and also picking up the phone. When your phone is ringing, have the staff have a system in place to answer it. Do not let it go to answer machine. Do not let them sit on hold for an hour. I love seeing these examples. I love sharing these examples, but fantastic 5 examples for one of our clients here that illustrate what you need to have in place to capture all of those leads. So one question I can leave you with is, if you had have received these leads that came in at the times that they came in and called at the times that they called, would you have been able to have a conversation with them? Would you have answered the phone, and would you have been able to book them?